Welcome to the July 15th Ways and Means meeting. Just as a reminder, this meeting is being held remotely pursuant to the Governor Baker's March 12th order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people who may gather in one place. This meeting is being held of the Burlington Ways and Means Committee is being conducted by remote participation. Reminder that persons who listen or view this meeting while in progress may do so by tuning to BCAT government channel, BCAT government meetings Facebook live feed, or on the phone 408-418-9388, meeting number, oh, I got that wrong. I don't want to read this wrong number. It's on the agenda on the town website. As a reminder to the committee, all votes are required to be done by roll call for virtual meetings. So shall we do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic
which is
One nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So first up on the agenda is just an appreciation of two of our members who won't be on the committee, and we're going to miss them. Susan Harrigan and Diane Creedon have been on the committee for a number of years, and together they have led the Ways and Means Subcommittee on Schools, and through significant changes and challenges, they have helped get the restructuring of the school department's business office and bringing the school department budget and accounting systems in line with the town accounting systems and processes. Diane has been on Ways and Means since 2007, so 15 years. And she has been instrumental in with her dedication and thorough and honest accounting, ensuring that the money is well spent. And she's a very strong advocate for the students getting a great education in Burlington. Susan's been on Ways and Means for 9 years, since 2011, and she too has been a strong and consistently kept the administration and the school committee's attention on the budgets and weak spots and processes. She's also served on the town audit committee, bringing her expertise and her views on Burlington policies to that forum. We are really going to miss both of you, and I hope anyone else has something to say, please take a turn.
Well, I just wanted to note that Diane had also been on the board of directors of the Burlington Scholarship Foundation for around 10 or more years. A valued member there, and she's a very dedicated member of this town. Has given a lot of her time, and a very heartfelt thank you to her. Very heartfelt.
If I may?
Yes, John.
Yeah, Susan, Diane, wanted to thank you so much for all the work you've done. And you certainly must hold the record for bringing new folks on board to the subcommittee there. And you've done a fabulous job bringing us all up to speed. So thank you very much.
oh goodness, it's been a revolving door for sure.
So, Diane and Susan, I cannot imagine how everything will work without you. I am there for, this is my 1.5 years, second term, and I am just, dependent on the two of you so heavily. And I don't know how we're going to do without you. Thank you very much for all your services and dedication.
Well, thanks for hanging with us, Jaya. I think you're going to be fine. You've learned a lot in the last 2 years.
Still learning, yes.
You're doing fine.
Hey guys, this is Mike. I'll take a turn in wishing you guys good luck and thanking you for being on the committee. It's been a long time. I've been on subcommittees with you guys, and Susan, I think this was your second stint on the committee, right?
Yes, it was.
Then back on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are both always very valuable members of the committee, very thoughtful, dedicated. So appreciate your time. And if you want, you can always pull a Brad Bond and resign from the committee and then come back in a month. We'd welcome you back.
Thanks, Mike.
Good suggestion, good suggestion.
Roger, this is Frank, if I may.
Go ahead.
So to both of you, we really are going to miss you. I, in particular, will miss the fact that both of you speak briefly and when necessary. And Diane, I'll especially miss your eyes looking at Phil and me when too long. So we wish you both the best. Been terrific players, and without question, school would not be the same without you. So thank you a lot.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, Phil.
I'd just like to thank them both for making me look good. They were two of my best recruits, although I had to recruit Susan twice. The second time was more difficult than the first, I might add. Thanks very much. A lot of hard work.
Thank you, Phil.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
There's a lot of experience walking out the door, which the committee is going to sorely miss. But you two, both as people, it's been a pleasure working with you. We hope to see you down the road, aka Brad Bond. But again, both of you, you're both excellent people. You care for the town, and that's hard to replace. So we appreciate your service.
We'll miss you all, I'm sure.
If I may.
Yes, Steve.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard to follow what everybody else has said, but I really appreciate the time you gave me when both Diane and Susan, when I came on board and learned the school subcommittee and learned the ways and means. And I couldn't had two better teachers onboarding to ways and means. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and I definitely hope to see you at some point in the future.
Thanks. You came on at a hard time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, with the budget deficits and the overrun and all that stuff.
Yeah, music mess.
That was a very very exciting time.
Yeah, hard time to come in, for sure.
Roger.
Yeah.
I would just like to say thank you to both of you. I came on the committee. Your dedication, your preparation was impressive, and it sets a little bit of a standard for new people to live by and to see. Okay, that this is serious, and you got to put a lot of time into this and be prepared. And the amount of time and effort that you both put into the schools is impressive, and makes it a difficult job for the next people to step in, because you have set a high bar, and I appreciate that.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks to all of you. I got a lovely card today in the mail, thanking with some handwritten notes that I appreciated very much. Diane, do you want to talk?
Yeah, I just can't thank all of you guys enough. You dedicate so much time, and I'm gonna miss every one of you. And Frank, I'm gonna keep watching you, and I feel like all the budgets are in good places. I feel like all the changes have been made, so I feel really like John and Dryer and everyone's gonna just step right in and take over. But I loved the card, and I can't thank all of you enough. It's been great being part of your committee.
So I won't be leaving town too soon. I'll be around for at least 6 or 9 more months. So feel free to call me if there's any questions on stuff hung in over from schools that you didn't understand, because I will be around for a while.
You're saying we let you go too soon?
No, I didn't. No, I mean, I know I could have hung in there for maybe 6 more months, but that would have been in a terrible spot for the budget. So I figured you better get someone on new to start clean, but I'll be around.
Well, as other people have said, I don't think you're replaceable, either of you. Bill is going to have a hard time. Your time with us is very much appreciated.
Thanks very much to all of you. Hopefully he'll find someone quickly so that you can be full again.
Yep. Well, the next chair will have an interesting time rearranging subcommittees for sure. All right. Thank you. Shall we move on? There's nothing else. I put an item on the agenda about minutes, but I think we've already passed, the minutes have all been mailed around, and we had comments submitted, so I don't think there's anything outstanding. But if the able meeting law suggests that people could be given time to question the minutes, so that's that. The next order of business is selection of a new chair, and the chair would be happy to entertain nominations for the next chair of Ways and Means.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Moran.
All right,
This is Frank. I would second that.
thank you.
Oh, wait, Roger, I guess because I didn't get sworn in, if I could, I would, Steve.
I'd be happy to second that as an official member.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate your almost nomination.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Anything else on the nomination side there? All right. So we have a nomination for Steve Moran as chair. Since we're doing roll call votes, I wrote down the roll call. I realized that, well, it sounds a little weird, but let's do it anyway. Brad Bond, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
All right. Doug Davison.
Aye, yes.
David Tate.
Yes.
I'm going to skip Frank Yaya.
Yes.
Thank you. John Eiler.
Yes.
Mike Hardy.
Yes.
Paul Gallagher.
Yes.
Rob Neufeld.
Yes.
I don't see Susan Rollins. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Can you vote on yourself? I guess you can. Sure. Tom Killalay.
Yes.
And I will also vote yes. So 11 in favor, and I think the rest are abstentions or not voting. So congratulations, Steve.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's confidence.
Well, we'll see.
So hopefully you have learned a lot over the last couple of years. And if I had a gavel, I would hand it to you because I think you take over immediately.
Okay. Well, I would like to actually take this moment to thank Roger Riggs for the 2 years chairmanship of this committee and keeping us in line and steering us in the right direction. So I have big shoes to fill in terms of so I'd like to take this moment to thank Roger for his contributions.
Thank you. It's been fun. I'll do it again sometime when it rolls around. If that's if there's no other fresh blood to get into the seat.
Nice job, Roger. Well done.
Great job, Roger.
Nice job.
Here, here.
Thank you, Roger.
Roger, this is Frank. Steve, don't worry about that fresh blood comment. It really isn't that bad. Thanks,
Roger, I'd just like to say, I think you handled it with skill and aplomb, and most importantly, with good humor when you consider the personalities that you were dealing with.
All right.
I resemble that, Bill.
Yeah.
Okay. So Steve, the next thing on the agenda was the vice chair nominations. Are you going to vote on that?
Yeah, so I would like to entertain any motions for a vice chairperson.
Mr. Chair.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Eiler.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I second it. Okay.
Any discussion?
Right. Who was that? Was that,
That was Jaya, Tom, and Phil, I believe.
Doug.
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry, Doug. Thank you.
I think I'd like to nominate Doug Davison for vice chair.
I would defer to John Eiler. I would like to see him take that position.
All right.
If he will accept that nomination.
Thanks, Doug.
So, Steve, this is Frank. I can't vote because I didn't get sworn in. And that's good because now I don't have to make any comments about Doug versus John.
No, I'd like to hear it.
But you both would be evidently qualified, and the committee's going to be in good hands however this goes. So
We certainly appreciate that you're not sworn in because then the discussion will be a lot less time.
Winston Ian, I need her.
Is there a second for Doug?
I think he
Third,
deferred.
I think he declined, so.
I declined.
Defer is declined, so that's okay. So then, John, are you willing and able to, you're certainly able. Are you willing to be in the role?
If I get the votes, I'd be happy to serve.
Any other discussion? And I'll do a roll call. Mike Hardy,
Yes.
Rob Newfield,
Oh, there's no I.
Newfeld, David Tate,
Yes.
Jaya.
Yes.
Okay, so I got Rob. Susan, you can't vote. Sorry, I don't have the full list. I'm using the names. John Eiler,
Yes.
Doug Davidson,
Yes.
Roger Riggs,
Yes.
and myself. I think that's 7-0.
Me too, Steve. Phil.
Oh, I'm sorry, Phil.
That's all right.
Gotta get Brad too.
And
Brad.
this is Brad. I vote yes as well.
Okay,
Uh,
10-0, I believe.
Shouldn't this have ended up the same as the last one, or I can't count?
It should end up the same, yes.
Did you vote, Steve?
I did. I voted yes.
All right. Yeah, it's unanimous at 11.
Excellent. Congratulations, John.
Steve, if
Thank-
you haven't noticed
Thank
that
you very much, everyone.
the toughest part of being a chair is counting the votes. So it's going to be a 2-year struggle.
No. I had the alphabetical list in front of me. It wouldn't have been too bad.
I've been cheating. I made a spreadsheet, but I didn't make it count for me, so I keep that in account. Anyway,
Of course you did, Roger.
I certainly have caught Roger a couple of times, so I hope that John will be able to do the same for me.
and I appreciate it.
I'll get my abacus warmed up.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't think there was anything else on the agenda, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
Just a quick note, which I probably should have said before, is when I was talking to our budget director about the end of year transfer, she said that there were none that required our acquiescence. So I guess they were small enough that they didn't need us to vote on them. Otherwise, we would have had this meeting a couple of weeks ago.
Roger, just point of clarification. So that means that I don't understand. I thought so this must have been monies moved within departmental budgets. Is that right?
Well, in between budgets, apparently the state raised the number that required Ways and Means votes. And I think it might be as high as 25,000. It used to be a smaller number, which required us pretty much vote every year.
Okay.
I didn't ask to see the list of transfers that were done, so I haven't seen that, but.
Could you or Steve get a copy of that? I'm just curious to see how it played out.
Yeah, I can get a copy of it as well. I'll
Right.
get a copy of it.
Okay, thank you.
I was also under the impression that they changed the policy that we had the first 30 days of the fiscal year to do the transfers as well. Is that true, or is it by June 30th?
They said we had 2 weeks or 15 days.
Okay.
So this was the last possible day that the vote could have been taken.
So I will follow up on Brad's request to get the transfers and start talking to Bill about getting the appointments for the vacant seats. And Frank, if you could get yourself to the town clerk to get sworn in, that would be extremely helpful.
And Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry, and Tom too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So Steve, this is Frank. I'm pretty sure I'll get it done tomorrow. I have to be in Burlington in the afternoon anyway. And one other thing I wanted to just mention, you can take it wherever you would like. Phil and I have been having some discussion about when we might be getting any updates on revenues as it might relate to the budget we've approved and where the tax rate might be going. So we're thinking that maybe in September, if there's any kind of an update that could be given to Ways and Means from the administration, that might be good. That might be something you want to look into down the road, August or early September, as an update for the committee and for everybody. Just a thought, okay?
yeah, that was actually something that was on my mind as well. Certainly, the departure of Susan and Diane were forefront, and then the second thing is just with the COVID-19 pandemic and the uncertainties with what's happening with the disease. It's starting to get out of control, getting in wide parts of the country, and the uncertain realizations on our local link tax and also potential issues with the real estate tax. And certainly we will want to get an update at the September timeframe. So I'll work with Paul to get that.
Steve, if you could, I'd like to see a worst case scenario as it relates to a 10% drop in revenue and the effect that a 10% shift in commercial property taxes to the residential side, coupled with a 2.5% guideline, how that would impact the increase in the residential tax rate. I think that's a worst case, but I was talking to the Chamber of Commerce. He said that the hotel motel tax is likely to be down 90%. Their occupancy is that low. And he told me, this is Rick Parker, he told me that the mall hasn't collected rent since February. Now, I guess there's two ways to value commercial property. One is income and the other is comps. So, income is going to be down dramatically when we get into January 2021 to set up, next fiscal year. So I think we ought to look at a worst case scenario and see what that will look like on our tax bill.
Yeah, agreed. And the other thing is now that a lot of the tech companies have started shifting work to home, and people have started to get acclimated to it and are actually being as productive. It's going to really put a lot of pressure on the commercial side of the house as well.
Mr. Chair, I have a question, if I could, for Phil. Phil, at one of our meetings, you had asked, especially for more information on the numbers for the Macy's appeal of our assessor's valuation. And I was wondering, did you ever get that information?
Well, I understand it could be $250,000 a year in impact and reduction. But, with all due respect to the assessors, they're playing it very close to the vest, as is Sagarino, and for good reason. So I didn't want to press any further, but it looks like the number is 250.
Okay. Thank you.
So Tom, at our last meeting, the assessor did provide a written description of what was going on there.
Mhm.
I'm not sure it was, completely transparent, but if you didn't get it, we can find out and send it along again.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Anything, go ahead, Roger.
Sorry, two quick notes. Our previous recording secretary, Dana, has had her child, and she apparently is moving out of state, so she will not be returning as recording secretary. And Melinda Bouchelt, who I thought would be taking minutes for this meeting, she's attending college in the fall. So I guess that's one of the things, Steve, is to work with Joanne Faust to find a recording secretary. She's already aware of what's going on, and so it's on her list of things to do.
I'll send her an email.
Yep.
Well, I would suggest that you ask about Allison over at the, I think Rob can attest to the fact that she's an outstanding secretary for the library trustees, if she's available.
So,
We can find out.
Yep.
if you could share her contact information, that would be great.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a great summer, everyone, and we'll see everybody in the fall. Susan, Diane,
As well.
Enjoy.
And again, Roger, great job last couple years.
Very nice.
To the Escadrille.
Everybody.
So long.